Jude Bellingham has very quickly become the talk of the town. Rumours galore. Where is he going? Liverpool, United, Madrid, Barca, City. Practically every club now wants him, mainly because he's a top footballer. But also Dortmund have said they wouldn't mind letting go of him. They let go of Sancho and Haaland in back-to-back transfer windows. It's kind of what Dortmund do. But where does Jude Bellingham actually fit in?
You're asking me that?
I am.
Oh, you are?
Pressure question. Hence the eyes.
That was like a rhetorical question. But where does he fit in? I think, having watched him obviously more recently over the international break, what I thought was so impressive about him was first of all, his passing range is, he can make, in the early stage of the game, he can make these little tiny passes and kind of shake things up and keep the ball moving and work into the play. And then later on in the game, he's picking a pass. He can pick out his man. And then his composure, my God. We know he's 19, obviously. Everyone knows he's 19. He's a teenager. It's extraordinary. He's played, more minutes than anybody else under the age of 20 in Europe's top 5 leagues. No, 1,000 more minutes this season.
Crazy.
It's mad. So he's learned composure and he's worked hard and he's already earned this incredible, all the incredible accolades he's getting. Your question was about where he should go. I think that, most people are connecting him recently with Liverpool in terms of being able to be creative and being able to develop himself as a player, I guess, associating him as well with Jurgen Klopp. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think Liverpool would be a good fit.
The thing there with Liverpool is don't really have the money.
Well, that is a good point.
So,
yeah.
I think Liverpool are crying out for not a box-to-box midfielder per se, but a midfielder who can play in a midfield 3, because that's how Liverpool plays. So he's either as a right-sided 8 or a left-sided 8. The problem for Liverpool is, as much as they want him, if he's over 100 million, they probably can't finance the deal to bring him in unless they let go of maybe Naby Keita and one other. And that maybe feels a little bit impractical, whereas there are clubs on the list that have infinite amounts of money and
so
squad
you're sending
depth.
him to Newcastle. That's what
The interesting thing about Bellingham is that when he left Birmingham to pick his next move, it was absolutely meticulous. It wasn't to do with money. It was to do with the ideal next step for his career.
Yeah.
And I just think the way that he's been managed, his entourage, the way that they're plotting his career, completely take your point about Liverpool not really having the money. If they put a price on him at 150 million euros or something like that, could Liverpool afford to do it? Possibly not. I just wonder whether in Bellingham's case, it'll be a case of him picking the club rather than Dortmund picking the club for him. And if that was a situation that was to arise, it does bring teams like Liverpool into it, because he's so keen to make sure that every single step is the right one, that I don't think that he's a type of personality to be forced somewhere where he doesn't think he'll fit. That if Dortmund were to say, well, no, we've had 150 million from City, that's where you're going. I think that he's possibly the type of player who would go, no, I want to go. If he does, I want to go to Liverpool, that's where I'm going. Make that deal happen, which opens the market then to everyone, to teams that, even a team like, I don't know, Barcelona, for example, who really haven't got the money.
Apparently
find
somewhere
behind the
sofa cash.
Yeah. But it opens up the possibility that you could see a move like that on the face of it, you think, well, how have they found the money? Why have they sold him for 80 million euros or 100 million euros when you could get 150 elsewhere? I just think that it's one to watch in that sense, that if he does want to go to Liverpool, I think he would probably find a way to get there.
So if money's no object?
Yeah, I just think that he wouldn't be forced into something that he doesn't want to do. I think he probably in his head, he already knows.
Yeah.
He's not going to tell anyone, obviously, but I think it was so meticulous the way that he left Birmingham that he went. Everyone will know that he went around Carrington and schmoozed by all the United suits, and they gave him all the the glitz and the glam. Come here, it's going to be brilliant. And he went, nah, you're all right.
Yeah,
I'm going to go Dortmund and play every week and play in the Champions League.
Yeah, and
that just shows you the kind of the character that he is.
Yeah,
it's quite an interesting point, because when you think about where he might end up, Madrid and Barca have been linked as well, and I actually don't think he ends up at either of those clubs, because I think that's probably the end of his journey. Because although players, Madrid and Barca, are not the powerhouses they were, there's still always the feeling that is the pinnacle of football. If you get a move to Barca, in particular Madrid, you've completed the game. So he's done his bit at Birmingham, he's done his bit at Dortmund. If he goes to Liverpool next, then maybe that's the end goal. But City have also been linked, and I don't know where City actually fit into that hierarchy. Is City a step to Madrid or Barca, or are they now actually the step above them or on the same level?
That's an interesting point, because if you speak to people at City, they thought that signing Erling Haaland in the summer was kind of a sea change for them, in that could they ever really attract those top players at the top, the peak years of their career, in the face of likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid? Possibly not. In their eyes, Haaland was the first one that looked at absolutely every top club in Europe and thought, the place for me is City. And if Jude Bellingham is faced with the same decision, he's got the pick of every single club in Europe, then why would you not go to City? You know, you've got the money, they can afford to pay him, they can afford the transfer fee. He's got almost guaranteed trophies. You get to work with Pep Guardiola for at least the next couple of years if he signs a new contract. And then, like you say, possibly, you do your time at City and then you do move to Real Madrid. I think that's probably in Erling Haaland's career plan. I don't think he would deny that if he was being dead honest, that he probably sees himself in a few years at Real Madrid, having done everything he can do at City, possibly won the Champions League, won a few Premier League titles, then you move on to Spain for a new challenge. I think, looking at it now, that's probably what Jude Bellingham is looking at. And if you're looking at a next step from Borussia Dortmund, then City is almost ideal.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.